Some of you may have heard in the news this past week about a gentleman from down in Sussex, a business owner, who came up positive for coronavirus when he didn't have the disease. So David's going to tell you a little bit about that. We're lucky enough to have him today. He drove up from downstate to talk to you guys and talk about perhaps how some of these numbers are being inflated and being used to take people out of business. David Gribbins.
Hello everybody. We thank everybody for being here today and for this group, and God bless our country. I'd like to open a little bit of prayer if I could. Lord, thank you for this gathering today. Thank you for blessing our country and the Constitution that gives us rights guided by you. And thank you for having everyone here today to celebrate this day of being together in your precious name and protect all people. In the Lord's name we say amen. Amen. So I just want to share real quick the tyranny that's been on me, and I provided proof to 92.7 and 101.7. I plan on following this up with the legislators. 101.7 and 92.7 have had no reaction from DHSS and the Department of Epidemiology. I have costochondritis and I had some high blood pressure. So I went to the doctor, and I'm a construction management firm, and I have a general contracting firm and a consulting firm. So my clients just, with everything going on right now and the hype and the fear mongering, they wanted me to be safe and take a test. So I took a COVID-19 test at my primary physician's and went to LabCorp, one test, one swab. I waited like we should as a law-abiding, responsible citizen. I stayed home, took a pretty good hit in my finances for about a week and a half, waiting for the test results to come back. The test results came back on a Tuesday, said negative. I called all of my clients and said, hey, this is what's going on, I'm okay. Keep it in my pocket and go about my business and reopen into my community safely. I arrived back home that Friday, and I got a letter from Department of Epidemiology saying, stop, wait a minute, you're positive. Never tested with them. And you can see it on the website, 92.7. On the second page, it says, now I understand I give up all of my rights. I was supposed to stay confined to my home, in a bedroom. They had the right to grab me if I was found out in the public to involuntary confinement with a test result in my hand saying negative. So they then told me I had no right to representation. I had no right to ask them for proof or evidence. I had no right to a witness. I had no right to give them a second opinion from my doctor or even take a second test. That according to Delaware Code Section 13.5, instantly everything the Constitution gives me was gone in that moment because they said so. So being a patriotic American I am, I refused to accept that. I called CDC that night. CDC were very bewildered. They gave me very little information. The only thing they suggested was keep the negative results in your pocket. In case you get stopped or detained by a police officer, you won't show up on the list. So I called the Department of Epidemiology Monday and started to explain my case. They immediately kicked me up to Wilmington main headquarters. The agent answered the phone and I explained my situation, what's going on, and they said, well, we have a test from a state service center showing positive. So that's awful funny. I have a negative test result here in my hand. Immediately, the gentleman on the phone started to murmur and stutter and lose his words. So he replies with, yeah, reopen Delaware. Immediately he replies with saying, well, we didn't have your phone number to contact you to do the interview to take you off the list. That was not the case on the paper. It had my social, and again, you can see it on 92.7, proof on the top left of my test, my name and phone number is right there. So he stutters again and says, oh, well, it was a clerical error, I'm sorry. We'll go ahead and run this interview and get you off of this test. So they take me off the test. He tells me in 2 or 3 days, he'll send me a letter to remove me from the test. On the second page from the Department of Epidemiology, it says, you cannot be free from the test until a letter freeing you up. I get done the interview, they say, no problem, 2 or 3 days, we'll send you a letter. 20 minutes later, I get a call back he said he talked to his supervisor. I never tested positive. They won't be sending me anything, and hang up the phone. As of today, I have no proof that I'm not on a list and that any of these law enforcement around here can't snatch me up and take me away involuntarily, because there's no legal proof, according to the Department of Epidemiology, that I am free, other than verbal that they gave me on the phone. The tyranny has got to stop. The numbers are being padded, our rights are being taken from us, and I refuse to lay down and just accept what I am given. That's not what our founding fathers did when we designed this country. That's not our biblical principles. That's not the principles that we have of each other, to love our community and stand together and create the greatest country in the earth as it was now. We will not let it fall. Now is the time to stand together strong.